Okay, so I got the Horde mode actually now working, which surprised me because I thought it was going to be a multi-week saga into utter frustration. So I've got the Horde mode working, and I'm just building out more of the first part of the level, mostly just blocking the path off. So I'm just going to talk about the Horde mode and the Horde mode system. So first, let's just show this off. So it's very simple. So you go in, and then it spawns groups of enemies. Once you defeat a wave, it will spawn a new wave. Now there's no UI elements for this because I do plan to have it to be a separate game mode in the future. Just for right now, it's not. So what I'll do is I'll just show the blueprints because that'll be easier to explain through once I find them. So it's very simple. So it spawns one wave. Once you've killed all the enemies in that wave, it spawns the next, and so on and so forth. And so each spawner works off an individual thing. So basically, what it does is it will do a for loop, and for each upgrade, it will complete the body, which is spawn the enemy and adjust these variables, which is based on the upgrade. And the upgrade is set by the round. So once you've completed all the enemies, once you've completed all the waves, it will increase the round by 1 and reset the wave, so that way it can be infinite. And what the round will do is that it will increase the health, the difficulty, which is the damage each one does, and the number of times enemies spawn. So it's pretty simple. Basically, each spawner has this, and for every spawner that is in there, it will complete this loop. So basically, I can control how many base enemies will ever spawn, how many other enemies will ever spawn, so on and so forth. Eventually, it will just get to a ridiculous point where either it crashes the engine or it becomes impossible. I don't see it crashing the engine, mostly because enemies like the shotgun and the GM24 enemies, once they go to the second iteration, will become almost impossible to deal with. 4 shotgun enemies at once is a lot to deal with, especially if their damage and health, which is already a lot, increases. Oh, so one other thing I did watch a tutorial a little bit, and that's how I got the for loop idea. They did a lot of other stuff, but I just pulled to use the for loop for the infinite spawning versus some of my other methods and ideas. But one thing they relied on this to basically handle the spawning. I found that this does not work very well. So what I did is that I get a random point in a certain radius of wherever the spawn location is. So that way they will spawn, and they won't spawn on top of each other, and they won't get stuck, and will only spawn in places that the AI can actually go, which is why you get a random point in the navigable radius. But yeah, so lots of done there. Other than that, I just have to finish adding in the scenery assets and then put in the rest of the gameplay, do the audio, and then this level is done. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys next time.